here in Carbondale, and all the action begins in just moments.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it for Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. The Coyotes touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
Fate has brought the Rangers and the Wooden Shoes together here in Carbondale. Benton looks to continue their most successful season since 1933, and T-Town looks for vengeance after a third-place finish last year. Welcome courtside here at the Banterra Center. I'm Riley Angel alongside Zach Reynolds. Zach, a great matchup between two phenomenal squads.
Absolutely. Coming into tonight, Benton 31-3, Teutopolis 24-10. Last year, just around this same time, Teutopolis won in this very building. They won the Super Sectional, went on to state where they eventually finished third, as you mentioned. Tonight, they want to repeat a Super Sectional win and then go on and go even farther in state. For Benton, they're having a, dare I say, historic season at 31-3, and they want to keep that rolling.
And for both squads, the player at the top of the list, defensively and offensively, Dr. Tedeschi.
Absolutely. Tedeschi, one of the top players in the state. You think about the modern big man in the NBA, you think about a Chet Holmgren, tall, skinny, can block shots, can dribble a little bit, can shoot. Well, Dr. Tedeschi is the high school equivalent of the modern big man. He can really shoot it. He can block a ton of shots. He's a player to watch.
And now to the third member of our broadcast team tonight, Austin Harrelson talked to both coaches pre-game. Here are what they had to say.
And welcome to the Banterra Center as we got a packed house here today for an intense matchup between the Benton Rangers and the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes. I got to talk to both coaches before the game. We'll start with Coach Ron Weinmiller. He kept it real simple. Be confident and rebound the basketball. If this team can do both those things, they'll have a pretty good chance of winning, according to Coach Weinmiller. But we go to Coach Reeder on T-Town's side. He went a little bit more in depth. Transition, and protect the paint. Offensively and defensively, go through the paint. It's set to be a fun night here at the Banterra Center. Back to you, Zach and Riley.
Thank you, Austin, for that great insight. So much basketball, 32 minutes to be exact, comes on in just a couple of minutes. You are watching live coverage of the IHSA Boys Basketball Super Sectionals on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school basketball playoff action. Today's event is also available to download. Just click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer. For those of you just joining us, to remind you, I'm Riley Angel alongside Zach Reynolds. Zach, the energy in this building is palpable.
I mean, absolutely. What just an atmosphere we have here. Tons of fans, not just from Benton and Teutopolis, although there are an enormous amount from each of those two schools, but we've got people from all around the region. All of Southern Illinois come to watch the Super Sectional here at Carbondale. An electric atmosphere. It's just amazing.
And we talked about it pre-game, how basketball in this area of the country at the high school level is just, it means more, and you can definitely feel it tonight.
I mean, absolutely. It's just, everybody thinks of Indiana, where you're from, as, the basketball mecca. And, it is. But Southern Illinois takes basketball just as seriously. It's a big deal, and that's why I mentioned, we've got people who don't have a dog in this fight, but they're here just to watch some great high school basketball.
And we briefly mentioned the matchup just moments ago, 31-3 for Benton. They were 9-0 in their conference. Teutopolis, obviously an independent ball club. They went 24-10, did not play in a conference, but both these squads played some tough competition, and both of them are coming into tonight with superior confidence.
Well, I mean, absolutely. We mentioned T-Town was here a year ago. They've got that confidence of being through it and going on to the state tournament or the state title where they finished third. And for Benton, they're just having just one of those seasons. You know what I mean? 31-3. They've got a player like Tedeschi. They've got some really good shooters. It just kind of feels like a destiny type season for Benton. But Teutopolis, a tough task for them. Maybe their toughest so far.
And I talked to Coach Weinmiller, Benton's head coach, pre-game earlier this morning, actually, and he mentioned, obviously, an alum of this program, Doug Collins, one of the great basketball coaches ever. He graduated at Benton in 1969 and prior to this postseason, he actually joined the Benton Rangers via Zoom and talked to them and tried to pump them up going into this postseason run.
That's just such a huge deal. I mean, for kids this age, around 15 to 18, to have a legend like that and to know that, he came through here, why can't you? Why can't you make it to a high level like him? And just knowing that a basketball legend like that has confidence in you, that can only build the confidence within yourself.
Coach Weinmiller put it best. Doug Collins bleeds maroon is how he put it. Such a great matchup, such a great atmosphere. We are just minutes away from 32 minutes to decide a sectional champion. Stay with us. Back here at the Banterra Center in Carbondale, Illinois, the usual home of the SIU Salukis. Today, the host of this matchup between the Rangers and the Wooden Shoes. Zach, keys to the game for this one. What are you looking at?
Well, we heard Austin talk about it earlier on, and for Teutopolis, it's transition and points in the paint. And when we talked to Coach Reeder about that, he really said he put an emphasis on that being their game and sticking to that. So what their game has been all year long is, playing good defense to then get out in transition and kind of build things that way, and then points in the paint. And he did mention that's on both sides. You got to play strong on defense in the paint and avoid the other team racking them up. And when you're on offense, you have to cash in when you're down near the hoop. For Benton, it was pretty simple: rebound and be confident. And I really like the rebounding key to the game. It's not the most exciting thing. It's not, what everybody wants to talk about, but it is so, so important. Rebounding the basketball. If you don't do it well, you're going to lose. You have to control the glass. You can't allow second chance points. And, to get in transition, you have to rebound. So that's a big one for me. And the be confident part, we mentioned, Doug Collins talking to Benton, that's part of it. Just continue to be confident. This is, as you mentioned in the Open, the best season they've had in, 90 years or something like that, a little bit over that. Just be confident and realize that you're already at that point. Let's keep going.
And one thing that was really interesting to me is Benton's coach, Ron Weinmiller, being the one that emphasizes the rebounding aspect of the game, even when they have a guy like Docker who's 6'8".
Well, you don't want to take things for granted. You don't want to say, oh, well, we got a 6'8" guy out there, so, we don't really have to focus on rebounding in practice or anything like that. He'll just take care of it. When you do that, when you get complacent, that's when things catch up to you. When we're at this high of a level, we're at the super sectional, you don't get there by, taking plays off or being lazy with small things like rebounding. So really just the fact that they're at this point, they've got a guy like that, and he still hammers rebounding home, that's why they made it this far.
And we look on the other side to Teutopolis and the Wooden Shoes. Obviously, the Ron Weinmiller, one of his keys was be confident here in this Benton Rangers. Teutopolis coming into this one they're beaming with confidence. They're 24-10. They did lose their last regular season game against Richland County. We know what they bring to the table. But the teams they played against and the way they've beaten some of these teams, they just are really feeling it right now.
I mean, absolutely. And part of that is, we look at their roster and especially their starters, and they've been here before. They were here last year and they won, and that was a big-time game. It ended up going to overtime, and they were able to pull out a close victory. So they kind of have that mindset of, we've been here before, we just got to do it again.
All of them seniors except number 3 junior guard Alex Kramer. Such a great basketball environment here in Carbondale. Benton and the Rangers just coming out moments ago to a raucous applause here from the Benton faithful. I expect nothing less from the Wooden Shoe faithful when they make their way back out on the court.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll say it again, electric atmosphere. I mean, the amount of fans. Each team's got a nice student section here. The stands are filling up on both sides. We already mentioned there's people that aren't even from these two areas. They're just here to watch this great basketball game. I can't wait till we actually get to start playing basketball. This place is going to be amazing.
Just moments away, under 2 minutes on the clock, then anthem, and then it's time for basketball. Teutopolis making their way on the court. We will be back after the anthem for starting lineups in a couple minutes. Back here in Carbondale, right into the starting lineups here at the Banterra Center, and it is starting to get loud in here. It is the following the starting five for the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes. Number 2, Garrett Gaddis, 6'1", senior guard. Number 3, 6'2", junior guard, Alex Kramer. Number 22, Joey Nieberge. Number 24, Mitch Custer. And number 33, Tyler Prumer.
Yeah, it's a good starting lineup. It's a veteran starting lineup. We talked about that moments ago. They've all been in this situation before. They know what they've got to do. You know, really a big task is who's going to play that big spot and try to take away Dr. Tedeschi.
Joey Niebregi, the tallest player in that starting five at 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. He averages just under 10 points a game at 9.5. Now the Benton Rangers about to get their starting five introduced in front of this Banterra Center crowd. Lower bowl full here at Carbondale. The only seats available up near the rafters.
It is packed house here.
Now for the 31-3 Benton Rangers, it is as follows. Number 10, Isaac Billington, senior guard. Number 12, junior forward, Grant Owens. Number 14, senior guard, Luke Melvin. Number 22, senior guard, Evan Munoz. And obviously the big dude down low, 6'8", Dr. Tedeschi, taking the 5 spot. He is wearing number 41 tonight.
Absolutely. Another veteran team. You know, both these teams have older players that have been around and know what they're doing. You know, we talk about Dr. Tedeschi so much. He's only a junior. He's got another year to get even better. That's scary to think about if you're not a Benton Ranger fan in this area. You know, these are two teams with players that know what they're doing. It's going to be, I expect clean basketball, clean fundamentals, and it's about who can run their game plan better.
For all 34 games, now 35, the Benton Rangers have rolled out the same starting five.
That's rare. It's rare to see that, you know, whether it's injuries or just the coach wanting to change things up. But hey, 31-3, no reason to change things up if you don't have to.
Benton Rangers, white jerseys, maroon trim. The wooden shoes, gold and navy blue. Just about ready to begin the first of the 32 minutes.
I can't wait, Riley. I'm getting giddy.
Goosebump inducing, maybe you could say that. Both crowds showed out. We had no doubt about Benton, but Teutopolis surely surprised a lot of people. And here we go. Tedeschi in center circle. He lines up with Niebregi. 6'8" v 6'5". Both student sections letting it rip early. And the Rangers control the opening tip with a raucous applause. Handling the point guard is Billington. Early to Tedeschi. He's at the elbow. Stepping back for a fadeaway jumper and sinks it.
A 6'8" guy, big tall guy wearing number 41 with the turnaround jumper. Am I watching Dirk Nowitzki out here?
Might be the next coming of him. Over the half-court line, over and back early against the wooden shoes. And Custer is not happy with his teammate and Kramer.
Giving him a screen there, just veteran leadership, senior leadership we'll call it.
Still Billington with the ball in his hands. One possession down, 2-0 Rangers. See what Weinmiller drew up here. Billington kicking in the corner. Now driving is Melvin, eventually giving it to Tedeschi. We know he's a good passer according to Weinmiller. He showed it off there. Pull-up jumper in the mid-range is short. That coming off the hands of Munoz. Here on the fast break, the wooden shoes up under against Tedeschi. That's Kramer for the first two.
Talked about it in the keys of the game. Transition right there. They got going in a hurry.
Tied at deuces. Driving is Melvin. He has to kick it right back out to Owens. Owens this season, 2.6 a game, gives it off to Billington. Pull up, jumper in the mid-range. He got it to go. He's averaging over 14. He also has over 1,000 career points.
We give a lot of love to Dr. Tedeschi for Benton, but Billington, an equally talented player.
He is our second leading scorer, as mentioned, 14.3. This team on the defensive end being Benton, 7.6 steals a game. They pride themselves in the defensive end of the floor. Here's Niebregi, taking it right back out. Kramer mishandling the pass up top. Here's Custer. Long possession early, no shot clock here in high school basketball. Wooden Shoes waiting for the perfect opportunity. Driving is Prumer. Trying to find Gaddis, he does. Benton doing a good job defensively early. Here's Niebrugge. He got blocked off the backboard by Tedeschi. We talked about it pregame. There's that defensive prowess.
6'8", those long arms.
Tedeschi for three. He missed his short front iron. Here's Gaddis on the fast break. He kicks it. Long three and short on that attempt. Offensive rebound. And Gaddis gets fouled going up. I believe it'll be against 41 Tedeschi.
Well, we talked about it. That's how they got their first basket, was in transition that time. At transition 3, they didn't get it, but they were on the boards down at the offensive end, and that led to that foul.
So Gaddis goes to the line for 2. Missed the first one, rattled in and out.
Gaddis, a southpaw shooter.
Gaddis leads his team at the free throw line, 71.8% on the year thus far. Missed the second one, a rare 2 misses. Billington bringing it up against Gaddis. 4-2 early, 3 minutes into this one. Billington driving, he's at the block, trying to draw the foul with Niebrugge, but they kick it right back out to Owens. At the block going for a second charge, going nothing. Rebound lands in the hands of Kramer though. Driving is Niebrugge, he shuffled the feet before he put it on the deck.
A couple of early turnovers here for Teutopolis. It's really uncharacteristic, kind of unforced. The backcourt violation and then the travel there. Maybe some early jitters in this big atmosphere.
Niebrugge did try to draw 2 defensive charges.
Didn't get either.
The other end of the floor. Referees weren't having it. Ball goes out of bounds. Just whizzes past Coach Reeder's head.
Benton likes to run a lot of motion offense, a lot of screens even away from the ball. They're really trying to confuse the defense and leak out one of their shooters to, kind of get open on a whim. They got a lot of shooters out there too.
Tedeschi up top. Throwing it almost out of bounds. Billington barely recovers it. Keeping the possession alive for Benton. Billington pulling up from the mid-range area. Gaddis caught him on the forearm as he was going up for the foul.
Yeah, Gaddis not happy about that, but he definitely got a bit of his arm, no doubt about that one.
So Billington will get 2 free throw shots of his own.
Both teams kind of trying to find their offense here early, trying to get into a little bit of rhythm, it seems like. We're not going too fast. Some uncharacteristic misses at the free throw line now from each team.
0 of 3 total between both sides through the first 3.5 minutes. Makes the second one. Got some redemption. 3-point lead Benton. Here's Custer to Gaddis. We're half a quarter into this one. It's tight, 5-2, a defensive battle thus far. Niebrugge at the elbow. Trying to drive. He's at the block, spinning. Has to find a nice open man on the back cut. That was Kramer for 2 points.
He spinned around and Tedeschi right in his face, but he didn't panic. He found the cutter, and that was a nifty bounce pass.
Tedeschi the one bringing it up. Munoz to Billington. Getting a screen from Owens. As you mentioned, this motion offense taking their time. Tedeschi's double teamed. He goes up, got blocked. It's a tip, rebound Niebrugge. Looking back to make sure no one's behind him, and he will take it up slowly.
Wise decision to kind of slow it down that time. Didn't have numbers.
Driving is Kramer. Gets around. A foul on the floor is what the official will call.
Yeah, that time on the drive, no shots.
Coach Weinmiller wanting an explanation. Subs coming into the game for the first time for the Wooden Shoes. That being Zach Niebrugge and number 35, Austin Blummer.
Blummer, a big guy, definitely going to guard Tedeschi.
Speaking of big guy, is McDonald's order usually contains 2 double Big Macs, and if you know what that looks like, that's a big meal. Got at the three-point line, driving in, trying to find an opening, couldn't, so he kicks it right back up to Niebrugge. Gaddis getting a screen from Blummer, stepping back and going the opposite way. Goes up against Tedeschi, gets him in the air, does get fouled. It's so loud in here you can't hear the whistle. So Gaddis goes to the line for another 2.
That's big. 2 early fouls on Dr. Tedeschi. That could be a big-time momentum shift. What a move by Gaddis. That pump fake used to perfection. He took a shot, too, once Tedeschi came down. He held in there.
So Tedeschi will have to go to the bench early for the Rangers.
That is big time if you're the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes.
Gaddis 0 for 3 from the line thus far. Checking in, Kyle Thomas. He stands 6'2", so 6'8" goes on the bench, 6'2" comes back in.
Small ball lineup. Might see Blummer have to go to work for Teutopolis on the other side, since he's now by far the biggest guy on the court.
That free throw ties it at 5. Gaddis 1 of 4 from the line thus far. Munoz going to work. Has to hand it off to Melvin. Inside, kicking it. Now Billington.
Look for Billington to go to work with Tedeschi on the bench.
Tied at 5. Billington in the corner. Now to Owens. Melvin goes down low for 2 more to Munoz. Munoz averaging just over 10 a game at 10.4. Driving down low, going up for the dunk and missing it is Niebrugge. The put back from Blummer, no good. Football pass. Now down to Munoz, a whistle called. See who it is on.
They call a blocking foul that time. It's going to be on Zach Niebrugge, it looks like. That last time down the floor for Benton, they had blew the coverage defensively. Teutopolis did, and Munoz was wide open underneath the basket.
Benton underneath. Looking at Thomas, they have it. Now to Munoz. Billington, long range 3. He missed it short. Bumping the 3 on the rebound was Melvin. He goes up for the floater. That one short as well. Rebound Blummer taken away by Melvin. He goes up. Ball still loose out to Billington. Wide open, top of the key. In and out. Rebound Blummer.
Benton doesn't usually miss those opportunities, especially when they get multiple in one possession. T-Town's got to take advantage of that here.
90 seconds to play in quarter number 1. Niebrugge looking down low to Blummer. Blummer, one-on-one against Thomas, couldn't finish. Rebound Billington. Here's Munoz driving against 2. Got blocked by Niebrugge. He looks up. Go to his brother Zach, but he just overthrew him. It'll be out of bounds. G-Town another turnover.
Well, when a key to the game for your team is transition, you can't throw away transition opportunities like that and pass just a little bit out of the reach. Well, both these teams still going back and forth defensive battle early on.
The last game that Benton played was also a defensive battle against the number 1 team in the state against Breeze Central. That was a 34-32 W. Double teamed in the backcourt was Melvin, but he handled it well and got it to Munoz. Owens skipping it to Billington. Billington 0 of 2 from the 3-point arc. He drives on the pump fake from 3 and just barely misses the mid-range shot. Rebound Niebrugge giving it to Gaddis. Gaddis bounce pass down low and making the layup, number 24, Mitch Custer.
Back to a tie game all of a sudden, under a minute here.
Here's Munoz. Giving it to Thomas, who's guarded by Niebrugge. Quickly passing it around. Munoz trying to get free off the dribble, gives it to Billington. Tied at 7. Thomas short corner. To Billington, nice pass, pull up mid-range jumper, nothing but nylon. 9-7, 5 seconds. Here's Gaddis with the ball. Gaddis stepping back. He has to find a shooter going up, and it's no good on the shot. It was too late. so the Wooden Shoes couldn't get it off in time. And at the end of one quarter, 9-7, a defensive battle, Benton on top.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Defensive battle early here in Carbondale. We expected nothing less than a tight one. And it's tight thus far. Zach, 9-7. What are you thinking?
Well, right now, for Teutopolis, they theoretically have an advantage here. Dr. Tedeschi on the bench with 2 fouls early in that first quarter. They got to take advantage of opportunities like that. They really weren't able to pull away. In fact, they're down by 2 still, even with Tedeschi on the bench. Look for them to go down in the paint with Joey Niebuge, that is, and Blummer. They've got the size advantage while Tedeschi is out. For Benton, they're going to Billington. He's a shooter. And, he missed a couple from 3, but he's got it going from mid-range. They're going to keep going back to him.
Now, according to our live stats here, I'm not sure if this is accurate, Tedeschi has 3 personal fouls. If that is true, that would pretty much make him have to sit on the bench for the remainder of this first half, which is huge for Teutopolis.
Absolutely. You have to pull away while Tedeschi is on the bench. He's still got a big-time player in Billington and some nice shooters in Munoz and Owens and Melvin. But, if you're Teutopolis, this is the time where you got to take advantage.
Custer handling the ball as the point guard. He leads his team in assists at 2.8. He also leads them in plus-minus at 5.3. Gaddis looking for it off the handoff, gets it, trying for the curl screen. No openings. Nice bounce pass down low to Kramer, picked off by Billington. Billington takes his time coming up. Defensively sound on both ends so far. Melvin launches a 3, sinks it from college range.
That's Benton's game. They take the 3 ball, and they're good at shooting it. That's their game plan.
Niebuge, nice pass on the back cut. That is Prumer. Prumer with 2 more. A minute has elapsed here in this second quarter. Melvin driving baseline, trying to find an opening. He's doubled, has to get it out. Here's Munoz now. He goes up, goes for 2, charging call. Niebuge on the third try, third time's the charm.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been in position. It's something that he clearly works on. He's a big guy, but, you're more likely to get called for a foul trying to go up on a blocking shot, and why not try to cause a turnover? He's tried it a few times, finally got it to work.
You can just tell the hustle from that kid is unmatched. He gets it from Custer. Foul off the ball. They will call it on Gaddis on an elbow.
The team switching offensive fouls here.
That'll be Gaddis' second.
He's a really good shooter for him. He hasn't really taken any jump shots yet, but he's got to go to the bench now.
Zach Niebuge checks in for him. Coach Ron Weinmiller said that Grant Gaddis was the best player on this Teutopolis team, and it's key to keep him in check. And with Gaddis on the bench with 2 fouls, I think that counts as keeping him in check. Here's Thomas. To Munoz, to Billington. Melvin looking for Thomas, has him at the top of the key. On the back cut, here's Billington. Floater in the mid-range.
He's got such good touch as a shooter, and that time even using it on the drive with that floater.
5-point lead, Benton. Driving down low is Brummer, a travel.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what they were going to call there. They could have either called the travel. They also kind of hooked a little bit. Either way, I was going to go against Teutopolis.
So Brummer will go out. After that, coming in is Austin Blummer. Blummer now the tallest man on the floor at 6'6". Billington doubled in the backcourt. He needs help. Timeout for head coach Ron Weinmiller of the Benton Rangers. 14-9. What a game we have so far. We'll be back in a moment.
Today's game is also available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network Live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are.
14-9, head coach Ron Weinmiller forced to call the first time out of the day for either side. Here's Billington, short corner. He gets it done from that area. Here's Melvin. He got bumped, has to kick it out. Here's Munoz, mid-range, whistled off. On the floor is the foul called.
Well, you could have argued moments ago that there was a push-off from Owens. Instead, Teutopolis picks up another foul.
That's Blummer picking up that one. Thomas to Billington, tipped out of bounds, stays here. It was tipped out by Zach Nieberge.
He thought that it last touched Billington. He had a case there, but I don't disagree with the call.
5 points the difference, 14-9. Benton looking to keep their advantage going into the half. 5.5 minutes till we get there. Billington to Munoz to Thomas. Thomas down low trying to put some work on Nieberge. Nice bounce pass inside from the back, cutting Thomas. Excuse me, that was Grant Owens for two. 16-9.
They've been working those back cuts a lot in this game. They're starting to pay off.
Nieberge to Custer. Custer looking for Blummer, has him. He's at the elbow extended. Custer for three on the wing, way short, missed everything. And I mentioned it pregame to you when we were off the air, Zach, but in these college gyms, it's always so tempting for these high school kids to go all the way out to that college line.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, sometimes they're just not worked out to that range yet, and it is just so tempting. It's just, a couple steps back, you think, but it can make a difference.
Billington will bring it up by himself. Loses the ball briefly on the floor. There's a scrum for it. Still on the floor. There will be a jump ball call. The possession arrow does point towards the white jerseys and Benton. Zach Nieberge forcing the ball on the floor there.
Sorry, Riley. Teutopolis has been really aggressive all game long. They're picking them up in at least the three-quarter court range and trying to apply pressure to the ball handlers. Benton's a three-point shooting team at its heart, so they're trying to apply pressure, keep them farther away from the basket, and make it tougher to shoot those threes.
Melvin taking the ball out. Look up and down this roster for Benton. So many great scorers. Billington in the backcourt. Gives it off to Melvin. Melvin thought about a long-distance three. Decided against it, probably wisely. Now here's Munoz in the corner, down low to Thomas. Thomas, long bounce pass to Billington. Long corner three is short. Rebound, fought for it, still on the ground. White jerseys come up with it. Now in the backcourt, tipped into the hands of Owens. Owens now to Melvin. An interesting turn of events there. Here's Munoz driving, kicking, and getting two for Thomas. Timeout for Teutopolis. Chester Reeder wants 30 seconds. It's a 9-point lead for Benton. We'll be back in a moment. On a nice run here, Teutopolis scoreless in the last 3 minutes and 16 seconds of game time, and it's showing.
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking about when Tedeschi went out for Benton with those fouls, we thought that was going to be when Teutopolis kind of mounted a comeback and kind of took over things, but really it's been the opposite. I mean, Benton's really controlling the pace. They're keeping the ball on offense. They're not turning it over. They're diving on loose balls, and they're waiting for that shot. They're finding back cutters. They're shooting the basketball. Melvin had that big three. They're really just controlling the pace right now.
Doing a great job of that.
Gaddis checked back in for Teutopolis, even with those two fouls. I saw him go to the bench, and he is in the game, and you'd have to think that that's just Teutopolis trying to get some scoring going.
He's got to be careful not to pick up that third. Custer bringing it up. Custer to Haney, who also checked in at the timeout. Over to Gaddis. Haney for three in the corner. Just rattles out. Rebound fought for. Nieberge has it. Nice little move down low. He shuffled the feet once more.
Yeah, he's just got to go up with it. He was trying to do a little bit too much. He's got the size advantage. You just go up. At the very least, you probably go to the free throw line.
The 7th turnover of the night for Teutopolis. Not even at the half yet. Benton breaking the full court pressure. Melvin down low. Munoz, one dribble, trying to pull up. He got blocked, tried to go through it. Rebound, Nieberge. He's driving. He goes up for two. No good. Offensive rebound in the putback. No good as well. Rebound, Billington. Teutopolis just can't get anything to fall right now. Billington up top. Handling the ball most of the time with Tedeschi on the bench. Melvin off the handoff from Munoz. Jabbing and going the opposite way. Now in the corner, got trapped and caught it back out.
Benton's just so content to handle the ball around, pass it around, wait for that perfect shot.
Melvin, long deep three. He missed it short. Rebound Haney, looking around. Now up to Custer. Custer against Billington for two. And he missed the shot. It would have been an and one, but he'll have two at the line instead.
I like what he did there, skipping across the lane, trying to use the rim as a little bit of protection. Couldn't get the shot to fall, but he had the contact anyway. Got to cash in at the free throw line here, get your opportunities to score when you're down right now.
Teutopolis 1 of 4 from the charity stripe thus far. All 4 of which have come off the hands of Gaddis. Custer cashes in on the first one.
You know, a couple of minutes left here in the first half. This is when Teutopolis needs to go on a big run to close out the half. If they can get back within, they're within 8 right now, but they want to keep it and get back in with, 5 or so, then they have to feel good going into halftime.
Gaddis checked out. The second one was missed, rebounded by Owens, and given to Munoz. Munoz will bring it up. He has to be careful not to get trapped. It's a turnover. Here comes Teutopolis, and a second one. Down to Nieberge. Nieberge for two. Got blocked and fouled. Owens will pick that one up.
And spots like that, those last 2 possessions, sending Teutopolis to the free throw line, that's where Benton right now, they've not really missed him on the offensive end, but they're missing Dr. Tedeschi down low. Those are opportunities where he probably blocks those last 2 shots clean instead of fouling.
Benton as a team, 6.1 blocks per game, 5.1 of those coming from the 6'8 Tedeschi.
5.1 blocks a game. Unbelievable. That's the thing at Benton when you watch them play at home. They've got the sign, the whiteboard in the student section, Doc's blocks, things like that. But, they're missing them on the defensive end right now for sure. And on the rebounds, Teutopolis a slight edge, a couple of rebound edge right now in rebounds.
Nieberge just checked in. Offensive rebound on the miss. Here's Custer. That was Kramer that just checked in. Down low to Nieberge. Nieberge goes up for 2. Did he travel again? He did.
He's taking that one dribble and, he's just kind of moving his feet. You could argue that he's got 2 steps to gather, but, he's kind of sliding down that time. He's having a tough time in the paint there.
And you see at the higher levels of basketball that gather step coming into play a lot. At the high school level, the official is just not going to give you that very often. 7-point game, and Benton has the advantage. Munoz to Billington, thought about a catch and shoot 3. Skips it to Melvin. Melvin guarded closely by Prumer, gets past him and kicks it to Owens. Now to Thomas. Nice pass down across to Munoz. And Benton not forcing anything. Owens, corner 3, got it! 3s go up.
All of a sudden back to a 10-point game.
21-11. A minute to the half. Here's Custer to Nieberge. Driving and fouled off the ball. It's going to be against Benton. Zach Nieberge hit the ground hard on that one and immediately gestures towards his neck.
That was Grant Owens just trying to fight through a screen. I don't think any malicious intent, but he was just chasing after the ball handler and went right through Zach Nieberge.
Gaddis checking in, Owens checking out. On the inbound, it will be Gaddis. 14 fouls against Benton. One more puts a wooden shoe at the line. Here's Nieberge. Out to Prumer. He tried to go down low, but got a tip from behind. Here's Munoz on the fast break. He kicks it back out to Billington. Billington thought about a long three. Gives it to Munoz for a long three. He got it! 24-11.
A three-point game for Benton. That's what they do, and that's how they can shoot teams out of games when they get hot from behind the arc. Now the crowd getting into it.
The Benton crowd loving it. 30 seconds. Here's Gaddis. Gaddis goes up, and Tedeschi gets the foul. Oh, boy. Excuse me, that was not Tedeschi. It looked like him from behind. I think you and me both thought that it was Noah Schaefer. Oh, my goodness.
Either way, though, here, Teutopolis, the only opportunities they're getting to score almost the entire second quarter is from the free throw line. They're not cashed in. Hey, they do here. It makes the first one Gaddis, but each time, the last 3 or 4 times, it's been 1 of 2. If they could hit all of their free throws, they wouldn't be too far out of this, but they're down by a dozen right now because they're not cashing in those opportunities at the line.
4 of 9 from the line. Make that 4 of 10. Down low, a foul, a push. It's going to be against T-Town. Will most likely, I believe, be against Niebrugge. It is. 28.1 on the clock here in the first half. 12-point lead for Benton.
Benton, we know how patient they are on offense. They could easily work this clock down, take the last shot. If they hit a 3 going into half, it'll be a tough hill for Teutopolis.
The more that I look at Noah Schaefer from behind, he has this exact same haircut as Tedeschi does. 17 seconds. Billington trying to go to work. Off the dribble, giving it to Melvin. Back to Billington. 10 seconds to work. Down low. Schaefer lost it. Gives it to Thomas. Billington with 3 seconds to go. Makes the three-pointer. And the buzzer sounds. 27-12 in the flex from Isaac Billington.
From the logo.
They just can't miss. 27-12 at the break.
As soon as I came here, I started looking at the programs that they have, and the most that I like, it was early childhood education, and then after I see the classes and everything, that's the one that I picked. I would like to be a teacher in the future. I like it so much because I had the experience to work at Small World with the kids, and each day I learn, and I learn from the kids, and like with my teachers, like they teach me all the stuff that I need to do to be a better teacher. And classes is amazing, so I would just recommend everyone to come here to Wash Valley College.
Hi, my name is Rylan Robb. I am from Albion, Illinois.
High school sports fans can never miss another game. Become a subscriber to the NFHS Network to watch live game coverage, game replays, and highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination, NFHSNetwork.com. We are high school. What a first half here in Carbondale. We throw it now to Austin Harrelson.
On Weinmiller, Ron, Dr. Tedeschi, 3 fouls. You have to take him out for all the second, and your team still produces. How are they able to do that?
Well, I think they got extreme confidence in themselves, and they show that we're not just a one-man game. I mean, Docker and Luke and Evan all played great. We got great minutes off our bench from Schaefer and Thomas, and then Grant hit the big 3 right there before the end of the half.
Now, I know you're up big right now, but is there anything different that you want to see from your team?
Yeah, we got to get back and not let them score in transition, and we got to handle their pressure better.
All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you.
Austin Harrelson always giving a great interview here in Carbondale, and I think Coach Weinmiller will hit it right on the head. They're comfortable right now, but they got to continue doing what they're doing.
I mean, absolutely. Right now, 27-12 game, we got a lot of basketball left, and one thing he mentioned that I will give Teutopolis credit for, they're pressuring on defense, and they've not been getting necessarily the turnovers, but the way they're playing defensively, you'd have to think some of those will start to come, and that's how they can get right back into it. You have to protect the basketball if you're Benton, if you want to protect the lead.
Now, there were 8 total fouls in that half against Benton, 3 of them coming against Tedeschi, 2 against Owens, and it has just been so crazy to me to see this Benton squad. I mean, they've only had 5 minutes from Dr. Tedeschi, and we focused on him pregame. The rest of the squad really stepping up and playing well against this Wooden Shoes team.
Absolutely. It was 9-7 after quarter number 1. It's down 27-12. That's an 18-5 run in the second quarter, which Dr. Tedeschi did not play in for Benton. But we've talked about how they're a shooting team. Whether Tedeschi is doing it or somebody else, they like to shoot that three ball. If they get hot, they can shoot teams out of a game, and that's what they did to kind of end the first half in that second quarter. Melvin had one or two, and Billington that one right at the end. I mean, from the tip of the Saluki nose, the logo, if you will, way downtown. He's a confident shooter, and Benton, they keep building that confidence from three. It could get out of hand.
And one thing to point out here, 4 of 10 from the three-point arc for Benton. Basically all of them have been college level. 4 of 10 from the free throw line for Teutopolis.
That's just huge. That was a big deal. They went to the free throw line frequently in that second quarter. And we talked about how that's how they can build back into it. With no Dr. Tedeschi defensively for Benton, there was more fouls for Benton, causing more fouls because they don't have the big guy that can just swat shots away. They have to jump up, and that's when you're going to get those foul calls. Teutopolis got the foul calls. They went to the line. They just couldn't cash in like they needed to.
And Garrett Gaddis, Coach Weinmiller, I briefly mentioned it during that first half. He gave Gaddis credit as the best player on this Teutopolis squad so far. They have held him to 2 points. He hasn't even gotten a field goal off. He is 2 of 6 from the free throw line.
He's a lefty shooter, and he can shoot the basketball, but Benton doing a really good job. I mean, Teutopolis just isn't getting jump shots. I'm not sure they've really taken. They've taken one, I think, a transition three that missed. Benton's doing a really good job of closing out on shooters, having a hand in the face, and Teutopolis not really able to get those off. And then they're not kind of cashing in down low. A couple of travels down there, a couple of misses near the basket. There's a lot of things for Teutopolis that if they just clean up, this game is a lot closer, and that's what I expect in the second half.
9 turnovers from Teutopolis in the first 16. The second 16 just minutes away, 27-12 here at the half. Today's game is also available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network live mobile app for Apple and Android devices. Download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are. And I'll tell you what, if you're missing this one right now, you're missing a good one so far. 27-12, Benton with some hot hands from beyond the arc has really led the way here for the Rangers, and Teutopolis with the turnovers, they have really struggled.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that I highlighted here on the stat sheet. Benton has 14 points off of turnovers. Teutopolis with just 2, and that's Teutopolis' game plan. We talked with the Coach Reeder. He wanted transition points. Which would you in turn you think that means points off turnovers, and they're losing that battle big time right now.
It's been a good game so far. It'll be interesting to see what head coach Chester Reeder decides to come up with here for the second 16 minutes of action. We know that Teutopolis has the ability to do this as best he can right now. Austin Harrelson, the third member of our broadcast crew, with head coach Chester Reeder.
For T-Town, Coach, was it the first half that you wanted? What kind of adjustments need to be made for you guys in the second half to come back in this game?
We got to play with composure. We didn't play with any composure. We let things that we can't control bother us. We got to play with composure this half.
So with Dr. Tedeschi going out with 3 fouls, it's a huge break for you guys, but guys just weren't able to take advantage of that. How do you go about with Tucker having those 3 fouls?
We just got to execute what we do. We got to execute our stuff offensively. We did the right things. We got him in foul trouble. We just need to do it again.
All righty. Good luck, Coach. Back to you guys.
Always a great interview from Austin Harrelson, our sideline guy, to getting notes from head coach Chester Reeder. Zach, what do you think?
Well, I think, he talked about composure a big lot, and that just goes back to what we were just talking about before, that interview with him is, the points off turnovers, Benton leading that battle. They're turning over a little bit too much. They're, traveling sometimes. It's a big game. It's a big atmosphere. Composure can go a long way. This game's certainly far from over. I mean, this is not a comeback that Teutopolis can't make. So I'm just excited for the second half.
And we've seen it before. We've seen teams come back from second half deficits and play and win big. Now, the question is, can they do it in an atmosphere like this with the amount of noise that this building really has produced tonight.
Well, if they can just flip it, if they can get the T-Town crowd into it, all of a sudden that becomes an advantage for them. But in the first half, no doubt, it was an advantage for Benton.
Docker Tedeschi into the game for the first time since halfway through that first quarter. He has only played 5 minutes of the 16 so far.
And if he gets going for Benton the way they've been shooting without him, it could be trouble for T-Town. I think they got to try to go right at him on the offensive end and try to get him back in foul trouble. And just as the coach mentioned, get him back in foul trouble and then do it better than they did in the first half.
The Wooden Shoes with possession to begin the second half. See what type of changes head coach Chester Reeder made in the locker room at the break. He had 10 minutes to decide what he wanted to do with his squad. Kramer skipping it to Gaddis, driving baseline, trying to find an opening down low. He can't. He'll have to kick it back out. Does on a nice cut, but blocked by Billington. And the Rangers get possession right back.
Benton going to slow it down like they have been.
Billington, 10 first half points, gives it to Tedeschi. Only 2 points in that first half in 5 minutes played. Billington, nice behind the back move, trying to get down low. He turns it over to Kramer. Kramer on the fast break, finding Niebrigi. Niebrigi against Tedeschi, spinning, looking for an opening. He has one and floats it in. Finally using that pivot foot effectively.
Very patient there. I love that. He didn't just try to go flying in, get his shot blocked. He was very patient and a nice spin move.
Here comes Melvin, handing the ball against Gaddis. Here's Munoz now. Billington, top of the key, pull up, jumper, short, rebound, Prumer. Here comes Gaddis, the leading scorer on this Wooden Shoe squad. Kramer making his way towards the top of the key at the free throw line and kicking it to Custer. Custer has faced Billington all night on the offensive end. Billington has done a good job defensively, as has his whole Rangers squad. Custer thought about a three. Gives it to Kramer, who will take one. It's a little long. Bounces off back iron. Gaddis on the rebound, in and out.
Tough break that time for Gaddis. Right in the right spot. Just couldn't fall.
Tedeschi, transition, three from college range, short. Here comes Custer. To Prumer. Back to Custer. Looking to lob it up to his postman. And Prumer lost his feet. He travels before he could get it out.
Yeah, just a slip right there at the elbow. It's a tough break. They have played better to start this second quarter for sure. It's really a game of two paces. Teutopolis wants to go fast. Benton wants to slow it down, and so far Benton has really slowed down Teutopolis offensively.
T-Town still with this full court pressure. Tedeschi pump faking the pass. Goes down low, throws it right out of bounds at the baseline.
It's not on the same page that time with Melvin. Cut it the opposite way.
So the turnover battle was against Teutopolis in that first half. They have forced two early ones against Benton. Custer to Kramer. Finding Prumer, who almost lost it. Over to Custer. Custer got it! 10-point lead now.
Comeback's got to start somewhere if you're T-Town.
And they got to realize they can't get it all back in one possession. It seems like they know that very well. 27-17. Defense chance ringing out from the Wooden Shoes crowd. Here comes Melvin off a screen from Tedeschi. He's hounded by Custer. Custer trying to get him on a 5-second call. And a timeout for Benton. An early one, and the Wooden Shoes are feeling it to begin this second half. 27-17, they've cut it to 10. We'll be back in a moment. Back here at Carbondale, and Zach at the half seemed like a long way. Doesn't feel so long anymore.
No, cut it down to 10. It was all what Coach Reeder in that short interview with Austin Harrelson coming out of the locker room. He mentioned, have more composure and play our game, and they've done that better already to start the second half. Got a couple of turnovers, a couple of fast baskets, which is what they want. They're playing a little bit stronger defensively, You know, we talked about comeback's got to start somewhere. You can't get it all back in one place, but this is a good start.
One thing to point out, in Benton, we noted their hot shooting. They shot 7 of 10 from the field in that second quarter. If you're Teutopolis, you're kind of betting on they're not going to be able to shoot like that all night.
That's the law of averages. You know, you'd think that would have to come down.
Billington at the Saluki logo. Finding Munoz, who's guarded by Niebricke. A foul underneath.
Well, this is big. See who this is on.
I believe it'll be on Prumer. It is.
He's got a tough job trying to guard Tedeschi. Fun fact about Dr. Tedeschi, his sister plays at Johnny Logan just up the road.
Basketball runs in the family. Melvin looking for Billington, has him. Billington got his defender in the air, driving in the mid-range and kicking it to Munoz. Now to Owens, taking their time. Billington back with the ball in his hands. He's handling it a lot.
So patient Benton's offense is. I love to see it.
And with a big lead like this, having a patient offense in high school will definitely help them try and run this clock down. Billington driving, down low to Tedeschi. Tedeschi to Billington for 3!
Well, that's textbook Benton offense all year long. Pressure comes to Tedeschi, and he kicks it out to one of the shooters, and they hit it. That's what they do.
Right back up to a 13-point lead for Benton. Here's Gaddis to Brummer. Back to Gaddis, getting a screen, pulling up for 3, blocked by Tedeschi. It's in the air. Teutopolis does not come down with it, but it goes out of bounds off of the white and maroon jerseys. So T-Town will have possession. Billington hit the ground hard. He was slow to get up, but he seems fine.
Another block for Tedeschi there on a 3-ball. Gaddis, I believe that might be his first field goal attempt. He's just trying to get something going for him as their leading scorer, but Tedeschi right there with those long arms.
On the inbound, we'll see who they give it to. They give it to the newly checked in Logan Lawson, who hands it off to Niebricke. Niebricke looking down low, goes up for 2, no good, in and out. Got his own offensive board, goes up for 2 more, got that one.
Stayed patient that time, didn't panic when he missed the first shot. Niebricke showing signs of being of that veteran player that slows things down and doesn't get panicked.
Back and forth here in the third quarter. Billington down low, trying to find Owens, who's doubled. He has to get it out. He does, but turns it over. Niebricke, 2-on-1. He goes, got his step up for 2. He got fouled going up and left 2 at the line.
Well, that's exactly what Teutopolis has to do to get back into this one. You know, you kind of risk things showing the double teams and pressure like that when you're facing such a good shooting team. But when you're already down at this point, you got to take some risks, get those turnovers, and try to go the other way. Now they just got to cash in at that free throw line.
Niebricke has struggled from the field, 2 of 7. Knocks down the first. He also has 3 turnovers, all 3 of which have come from the travel, but he also has created some turnovers with some steals.
Absolutely. He's got some pretty long reach to it, only 6'5". He's got, I would bet by looking at him, a longer wingspan than even that, and he's using them on the defensive end, intercepting passes.
Single-digit game as he knocked down both. First time of the night that Teutopolis has gone perfect from the line. Tedeschi bringing it up. Down low to Owens. Owens kicking it. Now to Billington. Back to Melvin for 3. High arcer. Way short. It's going to be off of Benton. Trying for the nice play there was Munoz, but they will say he was already out of bounds by the time he got wind of it.
A big opportunity here for Teutopolis. So they can cash in here. It's a brand new basketball game.
Here's Custer against Melvin. Now past the 10-second line. Niebricke to Prummer. He's not going to shoot from there. Almost picked off by Billington, but it goes out of bounds.
Benton's just, we talk about their offense and their shooting a lot, but their defense has really been the star of the game for me. They're really composed on defense, you know. They're not jumping as much as Teutopolis, and they know what they're doing.
Custer to Gaddis in the corner, pump fakes a 3. Jabs baseline and goes towards the top of the key. Here's Prummer, pump faking the 3 as well. Goes up, got his man in the air and cashes in.
Great move that time. Got Tedeschi off his feet, which allowed him to go to the basket. and not have Tedeschi bearing down on him.
7-point ball game. Melvin in the backcourt. Guarded by Custer, almost lost it. Now gives it to Munoz. Tipped away, it's in the air, but Munoz recovers. He's fouled from behind by Gaddis. That'll be his third.
He's going to have to be careful here in the second half.
Coach Reeder wanting an explanation. Melvin on the inbound. Gives it to Billington. Billington leads all scorers with 13. 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, 5 of 10 from the field. Here's Tedeschi. Tedeschi got it tipped, he recovers. Melvin going against the screen, giving it to Isaac Billington. Looking down low to Owens, driving baseline, going up for 2. That's Melvin. He thought he got fouled by Nieberge, but no whistle was called.
I was able to finish over Nieberge, who got a couple of inches on him. That was an impressive finish from Melvin.
32-23. Gaddis for 3. Short. It was on line, but too far out. Foul underneath.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when he took that shot, it looked good from here. He just didn't quite have the touch on it he wanted, but they got to try to get him going. You know, he's such a talented scorer. I saw him do it last year, and now he'll head to the bench with those 3 fouls.
Kramer checks in for him. There was a foul against Teutopolis there on the loose ball, so Benton has it underneath, allowing Teutopolis to set up their full court press. Tedeschi in the backcourt, guarded by Prummer. Gets past the 10-second line now, loses it behind him, but he recovers it before it gets past the line. Here's Munoz, kicking to Melvin. Jump stop, goes up for 2. Fancy move, got fouled.
I really like that move, the hop step into the paint and then the pump fake. It got his defender just in a spin cycle, really, and trying to recover. He ended up fouling Melvin. That's a really high IQ move.
Gaddis and Blum are at the desk. For Teutopolis, for Benton, it's Thomas. Melvin at the line for the first time tonight, misses.
You know, there's a run there from Teutopolis, got it back within single digits. Now it's kind of slowed down for both sides. I think we're kind of right back at a fresh game now, but Teutopolis still a little bit of a hill to climb, trailing.
At one point, it was down to 7. Makes the second one. Melvin does, putting it right back at double digits at 10, 33-23, 40 seconds in the third quarter.
Teutopolis leading the quarter 11-6, but still down by 10 in the overall game. That's how big that second quarter was for Benton.
Driving, Nieberge goes up for 2. That is Zach Nieberge.
Showing the slasher ability that time, fearless to the rack.
Reeder wanting them to slow down and not foul. 18 seconds, single-digit ball game. 8-point lead for Benton. Here's Melvin. Driving, stepping back, and kicking. Here's Owens for 3 in the corner. He missed it long. Rebound is long. Falls in the hands of Benton. Billinger missed it. Billington from the logo again. And that one was a little offline. Had to force it. 33-25 at the end of 3. Benton trying to keep this lead. Teutopolis trying to claw back. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching live coverage of the IHSA Boys Basketball Super Sectionals on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/IHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Illinois high school playoff action. Today's event is also available to download. Just click the digital copy button under the event video player to download a digital copy of the event right to your computer. Zach, you mentioned it before, just moments ago, this game flying by.
You know, it is, and well, when you're having fun watching some good basketball, you know, that's how it is. Part of it also is, you know, Benton just running the clock when they're on offense, because that's what they like to do. They swing it around, they run back picks all day long, waiting for either a back cut or the wide open 3. They don't force things, and it's working right now. They're up 10, or up 8 rather. Riley, it's time to put the 4s up. It's the fourth quarter. This is all or nothing now.
The past 2 quarters have swung back and forth. 18-5 in favor of Benton in the second quarter to 13-6 in favor of Teutopolis in the third. Munoz to Tedeschi. He only has 2 points tonight. Trying to go to work. Has to give it out to his teammate Thomas. Melvin got his defender in the air. Driving against Gaddis. Goes up. Nice pass down the Thomas, he's blocked emphatically. It stays here with Benton. Niebrigi came out of nowhere.
Showing off those hops. We saw early on he almost dunked the ball. He got up to the rim. He can get up there, and he did for that swat.
Benton under out of bounds, giving it to Tedeschi. Launches a long one. It misses short. Custer with the rebound. Teutopolis trying to climb an 8-point hill. They have 7 minutes, 30 seconds to do so. Kramer looking for Gaddis on the curl screen. Hasn't. Gaddis driving. Going up against the 6'8" player and knocks it home.
Okay, Gaddis, I see you, Garrett Gaddis. Over the big guy. No fear.
6-point game. Almost thrown away, but Billington recovers.
He's heading right for me.
Billington to Munoz on the back cut. He's doubled down low, skipping it to Melvin. Top of the key three from college range. He missed it in and out.
Can you spell momentum shift?
Here's Gaddis. Gaddis driving. He goes a big against Tedeschi again. Offensive rebound. Blubber! 4-point game!
We told you it wasn't over yet.
Timeout, Ron Weinmiller. Teutopolis is pumped. 6:33 in regulation, 33-29. We'll be back in moments. Back here in Carbondale. Now, right before we went to break, if you saw a kid in a golden sports coat come running out on the floor, that guy is Logan Meddy. He is a great source of inspiration for this team. He's one of the team's managers, and he is in charge of giving pregame speeches and firing up this team. I can only imagine what he said at halftime.
Well, simply put, he's the hype man, and
yeah.
He has seemed to do his job as Teutopolis has come firing back in this game. All of a sudden, I mean, it's brand new. Teutopolis has the momentum now. Benton took that timeout, tried to draw up a play here out of the timeout to kind of swing it back in their favor. We'll see.
33-29. Tedeschi, top of the key. Finds Billington. Tedeschi, mid-range pull-up jumper. He missed it. Rebound Niebrigi. Here comes Gaddis. Gaddis stopping in transition. Giving it to Custer. There's Prummer. To Niebrigi. Directing traffic. Trying to get the perfect shot. Niebrigi to Gaddis. Gaddis driving. Going up for two, and he almost got the and one. He draws contact anyway. One thing to note, Gaddis 2 of 6 from the charity stripe.
On the season, he's much better than that. He's going to have to lock in here in clutch time in the fourth quarter, but he's getting going. He's starting to get the field goals up, driving to the rim. He's not been able to get those jump shots, so he said, okay, I'm going to slash. And he's, made one, got fouled that time.
Teutopolis in the past 2 minutes and 51 seconds on a 16-0 run.
It's been big. They're getting right back into it. Tedeschi, we've talked so much about him. I think he really lost his rhythm when he went out with foul trouble in that first half. He didn't play for a long time. He's missing some shots that he makes 8-9 times out of 10.
Gaddis misses both. Tipped up for the offensive rebound. Niebrigi goes down with it, goes up again. Another offensive board for the wooden shoes. Goes up, blocked out of bounds. Stays here.
Could have been some fouls in there. I like seeing them, they're letting them play. There seemed to be a lot of contact, but big deal right there is, really Teutopolis being relentless on the offensive glass.
3 offensive boards in just that little segment of play. Here's Niebrigi. Going against Owens. Spinning. Going up for 2. 2-point ball game.
Had a mouse in the house. Took advantage. T-Town crowd into it now.
It was the first half for Benton fans, the second half all for the wooden shoes. And it's getting loud. Owens to Tedeschi. Thought about pulling it. He's guarded by Prummer. Foul. He reached in across the body.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. He's been playing really good defense on Tedeschi that time. He's got a little overzealous.
That's his third. Only one team foul apiece for either side in this fourth quarter. At 5, teams shoot free throws. Billington with it, 33-31. T-Town looking to come all the way back. Here's Melvin handing it off to Munoz. He's doubled, quickly switching back. Tedeschi to Melvin, almost picked off. It's on the floor, a dangerous pass. Gaddis seemed like he was all over, just a little short. Melvin looked for Billington on the back cut, couldn't find him. A long possession. Ball lost. Billington in the mid-range. Kicking. Owens got his defender in the air. Driving. Kicks it to Tedeschi. Got to take it away. Wooden Shoes basketball. Long pass to Niebregi. For the tie. Lost it. Got it. Out of bounds. Benton ball.
It was Niebregi on the defensive end with another steal and almost took it coast to coast. He just lost it on the way up. Slipped out of his hands. That's brutal.
Archer pounding for either side. Melvin handing it to Munoz. Billington now with it. Handing it as the point guard. Looking down low to Tedeschi. Has him. Tedeschi against Niebregi. He's triple teamed. He has to get it out. It's lost. Foul. That's going to be against Plummer.
That was almost a turnover. A referee going to call a foul on Joey Niebregi.
That is his third. Only the team's second, though, so they can live with it.
They can live to play aggressive right now, and that's how they've been getting back into it. Play aggressive. Don't worry about the fouls. Try to get those turnovers.
33-31. Under 4 minutes in this fourth quarter of action. Two players on the floor, no whistle. Tedeschi for three, missed it. Rebound, falls in the hands of Niebregi, and a timeout.
Smart there by Zach Niebregi. Got the rebound, got trapped, immediately called a timeout to save it.
We're going to stay here.
Oh, his body's flying on that last possession. Neither fan base happy. I mean, Tedeschi got pushed back a little bit, then one from each team ended up on the floor. That contact was initiated by Benton. Hey, it's playoff basketball. Things are getting intense.
And at a certain point, I feel, especially at a game like this, you kind of, as an official, you don't want to be the reason one side wins.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. They didn't call a foul on Teutopolis when Tedeschi got pushed back. They didn't call a foul on Benton when they knocked a guy over. It ends up fair for both sides, in my opinion.
We don't have attendance numbers, but I would gather that is pretty high.
Well, they were expecting 4,000 plus, and I'd say we're at least there.
I tend to lean more towards the plus side on that.
Yeah.
Teutopolis has it. Looks like it'll be a man press here.
Still just that 2 points away from completing that comeback.
Niebregi will bring it out. That's being Zach Niebregi. Both brothers into this one. Here's Gaddis to Zach. Swinging it around. They want the perfect look. I don't blame them. Niebregi, they're going to hand it off to Gaddis. He can't find him. He eventually has to give it to Custer. Custer driving baseline, stepping back and going again. He goes up, a whistle blown. He stepped out of bounds on the baseline.
Teutopolis bench not happy about that one. Just lost sight of his feet. That's huge.
They need another good defensive stop. They've had him a lot here in this quarter. Benton has yet to score in the final 8 minutes. Melvin stopped. Gives it to Munoz. Looking for Owens. Downloaded to Tedeschi. Foul against Niebregi.
That's going to be his fourth, I think, on Joey. He tried to take away that pass and ended up kind of jumping up on the shoulder of Docker Tedeschi.
Coach Reeder not happy. Kramer will check in.
That's huge. Nieberge has really helped spark that comeback, especially on the defensive end, and he's been playing much better in the post in the second half. And now he's on the bench with those 4.
He has 9 points total tonight, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Tedeschi, mid-range pull up off the inbound.
Don't let Tedeschi get going if you're Teutopolis. He can be a closer.
Just its 4th points of the night. Nieberge out to Custer. 4-point ball game. Driving is Nieberge. Whistle blown. Full timeout for Teutopolis. The Benton Rangers. 4-point lead, but man, it feels slim. Teutopolis trying to climb their way back. We'll be back in a moment. Back here in Carbondale. Teutopolis trying to mount a comeback. They are scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 38 seconds.
They got all the way back within 2, and then all of a sudden, a lid kind of went on the basket for them. You know, Ben's not scored much either. They got Docker back on the board just moments ago on that little fadeaway on the inbound. Back to a fresh start, it seems. Yet another one in this game. Only 2 minutes, 39 seconds left. This is what it's all for. Coming down to the wire.
We expected a good one, and we got it.
This is Illinois high school basketball. A chance at the Elite 8. Electric finish coming, I'd expect.
Teutopolis with it underneath. Nieberge checks back in. He has 4 fouls. He's got to be careful. Here's Custer. Looking to Zach, and has him. Back to Prumer. Over to Custer. Down low to Nieberge. Nieberge, 1 dribble up against Tedeschi. No foul. Rebound Tedeschi. Here's Billington. 2 minutes to work. He got doubled. Got away from it and gives it to Owens. Owens to Billington. 35-31. 2:05 on the clock. 3 team fouls against Teutopolis. Here's Tedeschi. Tedeschi almost lost it. Gives it to Munoz. Now Melvin on the drive kicks. What a game and what a finish coming up. For 3, Munoz got the dagger!
Teutopolis has to go quick here. They're running out of time.
Almost a turnover. Here's Kester to answer! Back and forth we go. 4 points separate these two squads with 90 seconds to play.
All right, they're not done. We got some more big moments coming. I can just feel it.
You thought that Munoz 3 might have spelled the end for Teutopolis, but Kester comes right back and knocks in a big triple of his own.
Well, it was Melvin who tried to gamble, tried to really put it into it, take that pass away. He gambled, got away. Kester pulled up for 3 right there towards the tap. And a big time for his first one of this game, I believe it was. And, I mean, need the answer. They got it. Now they need to do their part defensively, which they've been doing the entire second half. But they got to create turnovers. Only, as you mentioned, 91 seconds left, 1:31. You know, Ben's going to be content to run this clock out if T-Town can't cause some turnovers.
Kester, who just hit that 3, 2 of 4 on the night, the team 2 of 8. They get it to Owens on the inbound. He's doubled. Getting it to Billington. Billington, nice behind the back move, trying to get free against Zach. They're content to run as much clock as they can. Zach fouls him. That'll be the 4th team foul against Teutopolis in the quarter. 1 more puts a Ranger at the line.
Now all of a sudden you have to be a lot more careful, but you still need to try to create turnovers.
Here's Munoz. He just hit a big 3. 1 minute, 12 seconds. He's doubled. Down low to Tedeschi. Almost lost it. Tedeschi with a nice assist to Melvin.
talked about his passing towards the beginning of the broadcast. Showed it off right there.
Gaddis with it. Driving. Going up. Got fouled. He'll have 2 at the line. He has been so close to that and one all night.
I know. They're just barely rolling off the rim. Believe in us, like we're taking a breath each time the shot goes up, waiting for it to fall in. It just hasn't. And he's had a rough day at the free throw line, but this is clutch time. We're under a minute. You got to hit him.
2 of 8 from there.
This really could decide things if he can't cash in at the free throw line.
As a team, 6 for 14. That's 42% for Teutopolis. The lefty knocks home the first.
And now they're kind of doing offensive, defensive switches. Nieberge comes back in. He's got those 4 fouls, Joey does, but he's such a good defender. You kind of have to have him out on the court when you want turnovers.
He's played 30 minutes tonight. Barely any rest for the big man. Gaddis knocks home both. Tedeschi giving it to Billington, almost stepped out. Melvin to Tedeschi. Still in the backcourt. Skip to Melvin. Melvin driving, got fouled by Zach. I assume this is exactly what Coach Reeder wanted.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Time clicking down, try to get a turnover, and when they break the half-court line, you just got to foul them and hope for misses at the line.
Melvin tonight, 8 points, 1 of 2 from the line on the season, averaging 12 and a half. Missed it.
That's big. You know, only 43.3 seconds left. That can be an eternity in basketball.
Four-point game. The second one makes it 5.
That's a big deal for Benton. Makes it a 2-possession game.
Kester to Gaddis. Gaddis driving. Foul on the floor.
You can see Garrett Gaddis trying to kind of go into takeover mode here. Going quick towards the basket.
Melvin picks up the foul, the team's third. Melvin picks up his second. Melvin has played 31 minutes tonight. They give it to Custer. Custer has hit 2 threes. Now to Gaddis. Gaddis driving baseline. Going up against Tedeschi, got blocked. It's out of bounds, stays here. He wanted a foul.
You know, he's trying to go up there. It's just so tough. Tedeschi has those long arms where he doesn't even have to use his body, and that can make it so tough. It's so much easier for him to block shots without fouling.
Custer on the inbound. Throws it away. And the Benton crowd erupts.
Unforced turnover that time, and now Benton's just got to hit their free throws, and they're moving on.
29.4 on the clock, a 5-point lead for Benton and the Rangers. Here's Tedeschi. Tedeschi in the backcourt. Tedeschi needs to get it out. There's going to be a 5-second call somewhere. Timeout, Ron Weinmiller. Full timeout, Ron Weinmiller. We'll keep it here. 5-point game. Only 21 seconds to play.
You know, a lot can happen in these 21 seconds. Benton could get in a dagger. They could hit some clutch free throws. Teutopolis could turn the ball over. I mean, if you're Benton right now, you're in a good spot. You just have to avoid turnovers and hit your free throws, and it's in the bag. Teutopolis is, you know, the one in a more desperate situation. They're going to have to sell out for a steal. You know, because when you're fouling, you're just hoping. You're hoping for misses at the free throw line. You can't control that. They need to steal out of this break, otherwise it's in Benton's hands.
Now, one thing to note, Tedeschi is 0 of 4 from beyond the arc, only 4 points tonight. Obviously, a lot of that having to come from not really playing much in that first half.
You know, he still made his presence known on defense, certainly. And a huge shout-out to Isaac Billington. With Tedeschi on the bench in the first half, Billington really took over. He's a talented player. He's got 15 points tonight.
A defensive battle that has come down to the wire, 41-36, 21.3. Melvin on the inbound. Gives it to Tedeschi. Tedeschi gets fouled. Tedeschi, a good free throw shooter.
Fitting for a chance for Tedeschi to go to the line and have a shot at some clutch free throws that could really start to put this one away.
Brummer picks up his 4th. Makes it. 6-point game. Here comes Lawson for Brummer. Looking to make it 7. Does so. 3-possession game. They roll the ball up. Custer picks it up. Gives it to Lawson. Launches a 3. Long. Rebound. Fought for. Still on the floor. Picking up is Custer. Custer loses it. Got fouled from behind. 9 seconds to make up 7 points.
Chaos right there. Teutopolis is going to need a couple prayers here.
They give it to Zach. Air ball. And that on Zach on the second attempt. Missed it. Rebound Munoz. The buzzer sounds. Benton punches their ticket.
Oh, what a performance. I mean, what a game. Benton controlled the first half. Teutopolis made a valiant effort in the second half to come back, but Benton able to hold on with some clutch free throws, and they really shored things up defensively in the fourth quarter. They had a rough third quarter, but they shored things up, and Benton's historic season, it continues.
This is now the most wins they have had as a program since the year 1933. That doesn't say anything. I don't know what does. Zach, what a ball game.
I mean, unreal. Unreal atmosphere, unreal game. You know, for me, we talked about Dr. Tedeschi all day long, and then he got in foul trouble. And it didn't matter. Benton was able to come away anyway, and a huge shout out to my pick for player of the game, Isaac Billington. 15 points. It really took over in that second quarter. Really helped them the way. I mean, 32-3. Benton, the fans kind of storming the court now. What a season.
The celebration ensues. Head coach Ron Weinmiller collects his first super sectional of his career, still on the search for the first state championship in school history. In just moments, we will get to catch up with head coach Ron Weinmiller, but I mean, he began his tenure, his first 4 or 5 were losing seasons. He picked up this program when they were at their lowest point, and he's really come in and shifted the culture.
Well, you know, he's been here for a while, and it's all process. You know, that term got popularized by the 76ers in the NBA, but it really is what it is. You know, it's a process, and you have to go through some down years, but you stick with it. As you mentioned, the culture is such a big deal. We talked about it in the Open. That was one of his keys to the game, was the confidence.
What a ball game, and the main guy for the Benton Rangers, Isaac Billington. Austin Harrelson has him now.
And we're here at the Banterra Center as your Benton Rangers win 43-36, and our player of the game is Isaac Billington. Isaac, in the first half, Doctor goes, gets 3 fouls. He has to sit. You become the vocal point of the offense. Tell me how you were able to do that.
We just have to have confidence in the guys coming off the bench. You know, we can all play, but, you know, Doctor going down, it put a dampening on things for a little bit, but we were just able to gut it out.
Now, you had a 15-point lead at half. You let it dwindle down. It got a little bit closer probably than what you wanted to. Tell me how you guys were able to close out this game.
We love playing these types of games, so it's always really fun. We just had to keep everybody together, and that's how we won.
Good luck in the rest of the tournament.
So Austin Harrelson with an interview there with tonight's player of the game, which was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. He finished tonight 13 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, but those 2 were big ones.
Absolutely. Had that one at the end of the first half that, almost seemed like a dagger at that point.
And now we go back to Austin Harrelson for the coach of the Benton Rangers, Ron Weinmiller.
And I'm here with the winning coach, Ron Weinmiller. Ron, I brought it up to Isaac. You guys had a 15-point lead at halftime. It got a little bit closer than you probably wanted to. How were you guys able to close out this ball game?
Well, I think our guys got extreme confidence in themselves and in each other, and they were able to make some plays down the stretch. We got some really big defensive rebounds. I thought that was the key.
Absolutely. Docker in the second half, defensively, tremendous for you guys. How are you going to take this game and ride it all the way and try to get as far as you can in this tournament?
Yeah, we're just going to start doing what we do, go back and watch some tape and come up with a plan and go from there.
Good luck to you and the rest of the guys.
Thank you.
Austin Harrelson there with head coach Ron Weinmiller, and a great moment for him in this program that he has turned around pretty well. This is his 15th season here for the Benton Rangers, his first super sectional title.
Well, he's been here for so long now, that 15 years, and I just think how great it has to be to finally get past that one big step, and now, hey, he could pass some more steps on that ladder in this same very run they've got going, a historic season. And, you can't just say, kind of a historic season anymore. Literally the most wins in 91 years.
Yeah.
It's a big deal for this Benton team, and hats off to Teutopolis. What a valiant effort for them, coming back within 2 points. Nothing to be ashamed of if you're Teutopolis either.
What a ball game between two great programs. Teutopolis, no doubt, will be back at this stage sooner, probably, rather than later. Benton trying to ride this wave all the way to the very top of the mountain. The final today, 43-36. For Austin Harrelson, our sideline reporter, for Zach Reynolds, my colored guy, for Rylan Robb, our director, I'm Riley Angel. And, as always, good night.